Hi guys, this is Mila's Projects. Welcome back to my channel. So this is part 2 of my entryway makeover, and in this part I'm going to be upcycling this bench. If you missed part 1 of my 3-part series, make sure you go check it out under my previous uploads. So in this part, I decided to take a weekend to tackle the entryway closet. And the space originally started off looking like this. It was just a huge mess and it was our catch-all and it was so unfunctional. But I took it from that space to this space. So I really hope you go and check it out. I found this bench on Facebook Market for $30, so I went and picked it up. And although the natural wood color of this bench was beautiful, I decided to add a splash of paint just to give it a little bit more dimension. And so some of the parts I wanted to show the natural wood, like the bottom and the spindles. So I went and taped off all the spindles because I didn't want any paint getting on it. Once all of the sections that I didn't want any paint on were taped off, I went ahead and cleaned the whole thing down with just some soap and water and made sure it was completely dry before I started painting. I went ahead and just rough sanded the whole piece with a 220 grit sandpaper just to rough up the surface so that the paint would adhere much better. So I went ahead and just did that to all of the parts that I was going to be painting. Once I was finished sanding, I made sure to wipe down everything again just to make sure there was no dust on it and prep for painting. I picked up this $5 sample paint from Home Depot in the Bear brand, and I picked up this super dark charcoal black color, and I will link the color below. And I made sure to do 2 coats of paint, and I painted along the grain so that it would be a much more beautiful finish. Because the color was so dark, I was hoping to get away with just 1 coat of paint, but because I wanted this to be more durable and it's going to be in a high traffic area, I decided to go with 2 coats of paint, and it was so worth it at the end. It just looked so much better. So just keep watching to see how that turns out. If you're new to my channel, then these are the kind of makeovers that I generally do. I do a lot of furniture makeovers, and I do small space makeovers, and I do a lot of organizational videos as well. So I really hope that you subscribe so that you don't miss any of my videos. So I just continued the process along the sides of the bench as well. So although this part of the bench is going to be covered with a cushion, I decided to paint it anyway so that I have the option of removing the cushion and styling it without the cushion as well. So here's the bench after the first coat of paint, and I'm loving how it's turning out. It looks so nice. I can't wait to stain the parts that I've left unpainted and see how it looks after that. But first I took a little break to have my eggnog since it is November, and it was super delicious. So I went ahead and I peeled off all of the parts that I taped, and I was going to get ready for staining the piece. And the stain color was very similar to the existing wood color, but that's how I wanted it because I loved the original wood color, but I wanted it to look a little bit more polished. So I went ahead and just did 1 layer of stain all over the parts that I didn't paint. After the stain was completely dry, I went over all the painted parts with a very fine sandpaper, and I was prepping the surface for my polyurethane coat. And I did 2 coats of the polyurethane because this is going to be in a high traffic area, and it was so worth it because there was no scratches or scuffs after, and it gave such a good solid finish, and it gave a slightest sheen, so it looks really, really polished and clean. So this is how it looked before, and here's how it looks after. I really love how it turned out. It looks so nice, and normally I do a lot of white furniture paintings, but I decided to try something different and bold, and it was so worth it. I just wanted to take a minute to thank my mom for helping me stitch the cover, and I think it looks so much better with a new cover on it. So I have my 3rd part to the 3-part series coming up soon, so make sure you subscribe to see how the full entryway turns out. Thank you for watching.